Welcome to a brand new Let's Play series. We're actually going to be playing Distant Worlds Shadows. This is the preview version, the pre-launch. We're about 2 weeks away from launch at the start of this series, and this is essentially the last of the beta versions, I guess. I haven't played it yet. Well, having said that, I've had it for about an hour and a half, so I've played it a little bit just to get a bit of a feel for it, just to try to see some of the differences, and I really like what I see. Let's just go through it bit by bit, and we'll introduce the differences as we actually play the game rather than try to cover it all in one sort of sitting. The premise behind this one is that this is the prequel to the rest of the Distant Worlds. This is my understanding of it anyway. And so the classic age is what we've been playing up until this particular version. And what we're now going to be playing is the Age of Shadows, or classic, whichever you prefer. The Age of Shadows is the Dark Ages as far as the intergalactic empires are concerned. This is the time before the empires were spacefaring, and so space was actually controlled by small groups of pirates and scoundrels, smugglers, etc., mercenaries, who controlled the space lanes, controlled the resources, and was essentially smugglers and suppliers to the worlds that we're trying to sort of develop. So the pirates don't control colonies, but they do control space lanes. They can build mining stations. They've got smuggler ships. They've got all sorts of things like this. Whereas the normal empires, as per the old game, where you basically were building up your colony, trying to sort of get ahead in the world. You're fighting against the pirates to sort of try to get ahead, but you're also trying to pay off the pirates so that they will actually leave you alone and protect you. So it's a very interesting dynamic that we've got going on in this particular game. Well, on one hand, we've got the pirate empires, and so you can play as a pirate empire now, which is of course what we're going to do, because it's sort of something that's so different in this particular game. So you've got pirate empires and the normal empires. So the pirate empire is trying to get ahead by selling goods to the normal empire, and but also on the same token trying to control them so that they don't grow too powerful. Yeah, very, very interesting dynamic. Anyway, let's get started. We're going to play as a pirate empire in the Age of Shadows. I'm not going to worry about the classic age. We're just going to go straight this way. Now, 400 stars. I'm just going to rattle through this really fast. I'm just going to leave it on elliptical, which is the default. Nothing else new there. 400 stars, 8x8 sectors, pre-warp. I don't know if we can... Oh yeah, we can select the others. Of course, if we end up sort of going into starting or young, we're basically in the classic era. But we're pre-warp, so this is all new. Aggression will go restless. We'll leave the difficulty on normal just so we can sort of spot it. But we'll turn on difficulty scales as player nears victory. What this means is if we start to take a lead in the game, and we're over 50% of our way towards victory, then it's going to get more and more difficult for us. So I like the idea of that. Research costs will be just normal. Space creatures few. Pirates, I'm just going to go normal, I think. Yeah, just go normal. Okay, next, colonization territory. Oh, I've also clicked off in the previous screen. Destroyed pirates do not respawn. Okay, so colony prevalence, I'm just going to go normal. Independent alien life, excuse me, I'll go normal there as well. Influence range 106, that's fine. And I will still have enforced colonization range limits, even though that doesn't affect us because we're playing as a pirate. I just like the idea of that in the other game. I'm just going to leave it on. Next, our race. Let's just go random, and let's also just say that if we end up as a Tux, who else do we don't want to play as? Tikans and Ugnari. If we end up with the rodent races, I'm going to restart. I'll just pause if that's the case and we'll come back. Okay, I'll just leave the empire name blank. We'll just go random starting location in the galaxy. Now this is interesting as well. You've got different play styles with your pirate. This is like the same as the government. In essence, raiders attempt to control colonies, and so their smuggling income is less, but their boarding and raiding strength is high raid bonuses. They get more from raiding planets. Mercenary are guns for hire who seek out attack and defense missions, and so their strength is still going to be boarding and raiding, but they get less from raiding bonuses. Looting income from destroyed ships and bases, plus 33%, etc. So it just changes, like what the governments do for normal races. This actually does affect the way that certain things come out. And we've got smugglers, where their smuggling income, where they supply planets with different goods, goes up. And so that's sort of how that one works. All right, let's just go balanced ourselves. So we're just going to go a bit of a combination of all three. Other empires, we'll just auto-generate 11. Would allow independent alien colonies to start new empires during the game. So when we start this game, I'm just going to leave on the just the defaults. Really, I've turned on enable pirate-specific victory conditions. I've turned off enable original distant world story events, and I've also that was off by default anyway. I don't know why, but I'm going to leave on the shadow story events. I don't know what they are, so let's just leave it on for the sake of this particular game. Let's start the game. Okay, so with a fearsome force is the name of our empire. We are the ruler of the Atuks. No, we are not going to play the Atuks. We are going to start again. I'm going to pause it and come back when we've got a race that we want. Okay, so we are coming back into the game now. And who are we? We're the Securans. Okay, probably not the ideal pirate race, because they're sort of fairly friendly. Let's have a bit of a look. So we're the Lone Council is the name. I love the naming in this game. I always have. The way that they've been able to sort of just put really good sort of words together, like Lone Council sort of suits the Securans, but doesn't suit, you know, for like the Boscarans or something that's a lot more evil. Alright, so we've got rule of the Securans. Your pirate playstyle is balanced. Now we've got victory conditions. We've also got our own balanced pirate-specific conditions. I will have a look at those in a minute. Okay, you're a pirate faction in the Age of Shadows. Pirate smugglers and mercenaries rule the galaxy, but standard empires in the Age of Shadows are undeveloped. Before they can take to the stars, they must first research critical technology like hyperdrives and colonization. Blah, 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 blah. What you should do, now this is actually quite good. They've done this a fair bit in the game, I think, just to sort of give you a little hidden, or not hidden, but little snippets of information to help you sort of get a bit of a feel for what you should be doing first. So gain control over populated colonies by keeping starships in orbit around them. Cement your control over these colonies by being the first to build hidden pirate base facilities. Now we've got to wait until we've got over 50% control before we can do that. Make protection arrangements with standard empires to obtain a constant source of revenue. Take on appropriate missions from standard empires to earn extra money and expand your influence. And stifle breakout growth from standard empires by destroying any spaceports they attempt to build. So it's a matter of trying to support them here and destroy them here, just to keep them in their place. I love the idea of that. It's yeah, that really, I find that really interesting as a game dynamic. I can't think of any other game that does that, where you've got to try to feed them and get get your income from them, but still keep them so that they become too powerful. It's very interesting. Let's start. Just pause straight away. All right, so now we start with a range of different ships. Let's have a bit of a look at where are we? Just go to the ships and bases screen, just so we can have a bit of a summary look at what's actually going on. Now, if we go to just go to military ships and we'll just start there, I think. So we start with 2 escorts and a resupply ship. Now the resupply ship has got high firepower, as you can see there. If I click on it, you can see that it's got a firepower of 141. Boarding, it's got a strength of 76, 2 of 2 pods. Okay, so this is all very new. You've actually now got boarding pods. And so we've got 2 different pods on this particular craft. On our escorts, we've only got 1 pod, so we've only got a boarding strength of 38. What else do we need to look at here? Now we need a fair few of these sorts of ships to be able to capture bigger ships of the other pirates or the other empires. But we've only got 2 escorts and a resupply ship as our military ships. Okay, let's just go to all of them and just have a quick look, because there's not that many. Whoops, hang on. Show all ships. And we'll click on this. We'll just scroll up and down here. So we've got a small spaceport which starts on a gas giant, just like all the other pirates ships have done in the other games. And we can't build on colonies. We can only build on gas giants. So we can build other spaceports if we wanted to. We've got the 2 escorts that we had a look at. We've got 2 exploration ships. Now, they're not as important for us. They're important as far as knowing what's around, but we can't actually go to planetary locations and pick up the bonuses from those like normal empires can. When they actually reach a planet that's got a like ruins or something on them, they get a bonus, but we actually don't get that bonus because we're pirates. We've got a construction ship. Now this is really fascinating because construction ships can only be built at planets. We can't control planets. We can only control spaceports around gas giants, which means that we can't build construction ships. That one construction ship is all we've got for the game. To get other construction ships, we've got to actually raid other people that have got construction ships and take them off them. So it means that we're going to have to sort of, when we find other pirate factions, we're going to have to sort of try to locate where their construction ships are and raid and try to sort of take them over. We've got our resupply ship, which is literally just a ship that goes and mines Caslon, different gas giants. We've also got, oh, come back. We've also got a couple of small freighters. Now these small freighters are smuggling ships. We don't control these, so these also just come about. The game sort of, like it does in the normal game, just builds what it needs. We can, I think, put more of these into the build queue if we want to, but we don't have any control over what they do. And same with these, the mining ship and the gas mining ship, we don't have any control over these, but these just go off and automatically mine resources or gas mining. And these then trade or smuggle goods into and out of the colonized planets. So that's how those ships work. I just find that whole thing really, really interesting. Now we've got a construction yard here. I can purchase different things. I'm just going to off the bat, and there's also different ways of doing this, of course. These are what we can build. We can build an escort, exploration ship, frigate, gas mining, freighters, mining ship, passenger ship, small freighter, and a troop transport. Now, I've sort of, in one sense, the troop transport shouldn't show up because we cannot use troops, because we can't build troops because we don't control planets. The only thing we can do is attack using our boarding pods. You can see over here, this small spaceport has got 4 pods. Yeah, with a total strength, a boarding strength of 152. So if I ever click on that, that's a mistake because we cannot use them, as far as I know anyway. So the most powerful ships we can get at this point in the game are frigates, so let's go and grab a couple of those. Let's grab 3, yeah, let's get 3 of those. So that's the best that we can build right from the start. We still have to do our research and things like that, but it's harder for us. I think research much slower than the other races, so we have to steal research from them as they start to develop. Let's just get out of this screen and let's have a look and see what else we can find. Let's just unpause and let this thing build like just for a split second. There we go. So it's now just going to generate its own research, so we'll just leave it there just so we've got something to look at a little bit. I think it's a good idea when you're starting a game of these is just to flick through these. So there's no colonies, of course, but if we control enemy colonies, I think that's where it'll show up. We've got 2 characters. We've got a pirate leader. So Mishku Obaria is ruling from Pakri Den, and Pakri Den will be under here, is our small spaceport. So that's it, sitting across there. Let's just zoom in. And so that's what we start with as that's literally like our home planet, is this particular spaceport. We've also got Tico Lucadi, an intelligence agent, and At this point in time, she is preventing intelligence missions, but that's because we don't have anything else that she can do. We haven't come across any other empires, so she's got a very limited role right now. Okay, next tab is the construction. We've got the spaceport, which is our construction yard. Next one is the mining stations, construction ship. No mission just yet, but it'll automate and go off and do something useful. Is that construction? Yes. Then we've got exploration ships, which we know just the two of them. They're just going off to explore different things. Enemy targets, none there. No fleets yet, but we'll create a fleet just in a minute. In fact, let's just do that now. Let's just, if I grab all of those, nah, it's too much. Let's just grab the 3 frigates. Escort and let's do that again. Escort and then shift click ultimate repulsor and evil scourge. Okay, so they're the 2 escort ships. Let's just put them into a fleet, and then when these are complete, we'll actually just let them also come in. And what I'll do is just so they don't wander off and do things, I'll just let them patrol the home base. So now if I click on fleets, I've now got first fleet. If I push the F key, it comes up. If I push Control 1, I can then deselect and then push the 1 key and grab my first fleet. So that's set up. Military ships, as we can see, they're building them in there at the moment. Pirate missions, none have come up yet. This is the main screen that we're going to leave this floating on. As we come across independent colonies, they'll give us missions and we can accept or decline, or bid for them anyway. Mining locations, wow, there's just nothing of any good, there's nothing of any use. Like the game starts off, and I might just sort of show this a little bit. The game starts off, we've actually explored a lot more than what you do if you're playing. Well, there's a colony that we can exploit, but you actually start off with much more exploration than a normal empire does, which means that you've got a lot more resources that you can exploit and sort of just check out different things. But we've found no sort of like of those super rare resources from any of this lot. So there's no benefit in us really trying to control anything too expensive right at the moment. Although having said that, polymer is always expensive. Steel they'll also be needing on this particular planet. And there'll be other pirate ships or other pirate bases in amongst here that we're not aware of. And they're also going to be targeting this particular planet. It's the only planet that we can sort of see around us where there's actually like an independent colony. And so that is a real target. And there's going to be a lot of pirates heading that way. I'm going to wait till I got my 3 frigates before I actually send my fleet there. And then once I've got that fleet, I can then destroy the other fleets that end up trying to sort of make good at that location. One thing we should actually also do is just see if it's actually got a gas giant. Oh, it looks like there's a few there actually. Yep, so we've got lots of cast on there, so we can actually set up our refueler there. In fact, we should probably grab the refuel ship and give that also a what's that? That's a construction ship. Oh, I've noticed that this game does this a little bit, where it actually will blur certain ships. If you just click on a ship, and then you can then just go back, and they'll be sort of nice and sharp again. So Wild Gambit, I'm going to do this one as Control 0. So when I push the 0 key, I get that. They're very powerful ships, so I'm just going to send that off on its own to go and mine the gas giant around the colony. So we're going to deploy at that particular planet. And there'll be other pirate ships all floating around there as well, but I think that we'll be able to hold them off because it's quite a powerful ship that we've got there. Alright, what else do we need to look at? So unfortunately there's no resources that we want to control, so it really is this independent that we want to control to start with. Research locations, we've got a few there. So there's a couple, like if we can control this area of space, it'd be quite nice. Resort locations, there's a few there as well, but of course no benefit until we can actually send passengers out to those locations, so we'll just let them go for now. And special locations, no special locations. Okay, well, what can we do? Well, let's just unpause the game. There's not much we can do right now, other than just wait for our fleet to build. Why isn't that one going off anywhere? I thought it would have at least tried to get some sort of resources somewhere. Yeah, nothing worth it there. No. Of no value whatsoever. Okay, you can see there the infinite colony Bragul has posted a new defense mission to protect their colony. Let's have a bit of a look at this. Just pause it for a second. So what it's basically saying is that the reason this got triggered is that they've just been raided or approached by another pirate. So other pirates are already there, and they're actually wanting us or any other pirate factions to actually bid to protect them, and then you'll actually get this 1700 credits. But if we're not actually right there, then I think we actually lose that straight away, which I think might be a bit of a bug actually. As I say, this game is pre-release, so there's probably going to be a few little changes to it. Like if I actually click on that, and I'll just let it continue on. So it's currently our bid, like we've got the bid for it. And actually we may even get there in time with this ship. Oh, I don't think so, he'll be too slow. Now one of the strategies that we can take here is that we want to block off any other pirate empires from building. And so we're going to be wanting to actually put permanent mining stations or even spaceports onto other gas mining stations or other gas mining planets, sorry, other Caslon gas planets and locations within our area, just so that we can freeze out any potential pirates. So that's going to be sort of like one of our things once we get our money situation under control. Looks like we may have that one. Yeah, one council. So we've actually received that particular task. There goes the construction ship. Little gas mining station over here, where there is Caslon. That's good. Unless it gets destroyed by pirates. Then that's very, very bad. Okay, well there are no other pirates there. Okay, so we've begun to control the volcanic colony Bragul in the Gazura system. Our continued presence here will further extend our influence at this colony. We can also raid this colony if we wanted to. This resupply ship has still got a hell of a lot of fuel. It's not deployed. We've only got 2 pods there, so I don't know if it's worth raiding or not. Probably not. Let's just let it keep on deploying. It's close enough to actually have influence, so that'll be nice. Now, we've got our first frigate completed, so let's grab that one and join the fleet, the first fleet. The others should follow very quickly. They will have actually, so 3, 1 and 2. First fleet, and Join fleet, first fleet. So now when I push the number 1 key, I get all of these. Yeah, I'm not sure how to make it the... I want one of the frigates to be the actual lead ship, but I can't remember how to do it. Okay, it's got system stance, that's fine. Yeah, I can't do anything there. Set range, automate, set posture, set home base, load troops. I'm really not sure. We can go to the fleet screen, although this is the... No, this is the fleet screen. There we are. This should make it... Oh, this is interesting as well. Like, if we were playing a normal colony, and I'm sort of really looking forward to being able to play a normal colony, is that you've actually got different sorts of troops. So you can actually select your different troop loadouts. So infantry, armoured forces, planetary defence units, or special forces. I find this really interesting as well. It's simple, but it's but effective. You know, like it allows different sorts of troops, I guess, to actually be taken into combat. The pods are different, of course. They're just boarding pods. Although if you do have troops as well on your craft, they can defend against the boarding actions. So I think it's very well thought out the way they've actually done this. So let's just unclick that because it's the way it was. Now, how do we make one of these ships the actual main ship? First fleet. No, I don't know at all. I've completely forgotten. Alright, let's unpause. And we'll send them off up here. You can see there it's controlled 9% by us. So we'll try to just work on this planet and see if we can actually control it completely. Send raid to loot enemy. So the advisor is saying, our military advisors recommend that we raid the independent colony of Bragul in the Gazura system. This raid would most likely provide us with a substantial pile of loot. Yep, okay, so we'll do that. We'll approve that. So if we push number 1, they're raiding Bragul now, so they're actually going to go on a raiding mission. Stopped. Oh, there we go. This guy's taking a long time to... Oh, he's got a lot of planets to explore, that's why. Okay, what else can we look at while we're waiting for things to develop? We've got the troops screen, but we can't build troops anywhere. We've already spoken about that. We've had a quick look at the fleet screen, trying to sort of establish our main ship, but I just can't think of where that actually is. Yeah, no, I'm not sure. I know there is a way to do it, I just can't think of actually how to do it right now. I thought it was one of these, to be honest. But it's not. Okay, what else have we got? Empire Summary. Let's have a bit of a look at this. So, controlled colonies, Bragul is the only one that we've actually controlling. We are the Lone Council, of course, we can change the name if we wanted to. This year we're getting 24 income from controlled colonies, so that will grow as we control them more and more. But our outflow is really quite high, so we're going to need to get that under control. Once again, we've got similar to what we've sort of seen in the other games, where we've got ships and bases, military, and sort of like the other state ships that we've also got control over, plus the private, which we don't control at all. Bonuses, and so we have a 10% diplomacy bonus, a mining rate plus 4%, civilian ship maintenance savings of minus 5%, and civilian base of 4%. Alright, so I won't go through the policy and automation, but yeah, anyway, look, we'll just continue on there. Construction yards we won't worry about. We won't worry about designing anything just yet. We'll just let research plod along, doing its own thing for a little while. There's nothing much we can really gain there, I don't think anyway. Empire we just had a look at. Diplomacy, we haven't come across anybody else just yet. We've looked at the characters previously, we've just got the 2 of them. Game editor if we wanted to cheat, which we're not going to. Empire policy screen, I will come back to this in another episode. I'm not going to do it now because we're already now at the 30 minute mark. And I do want to just do this raid in this episode, and then we'll, after the raid, we'll call this episode to a close, and then we'll, in the next episode, we'll actually have a look at this. It's quite in-depth. It always has been, or ever since they introduced it, but it's worth having a bit of a look at. It's something I've sort of haven't worried too much about looking at, but there are some things in there that are interesting. And also the comparison of victory conditions. Let's have a bit of a look at that. You can see here our actual pirate victory conditions. 10% of all pirate control colonies in the galaxy. We do have that right at the moment. One controlled colony is 13% of galaxy total. So there you go. Build a pirate criminal network. We haven't done that just yet. Earn the most income from pirate protection arrangements in the galaxy. Complete the most pirate attack missions in the galaxy, and capture the most ships and bases in the galaxy. So these change depending on what sort of style of pirate you're going to actually go and play as. Let's just close that down and just wait for these ships to come in, then we'll do the raid. I like the more subtle look to everything as well. Alright, now let's raid this planet. Now they'll send out little pods. What's going on? Raid. There they go. There you go, the attack pods. Okay. Alright, well we failed to defend them because we're attacking them. But we're interested in money. Now we can sort of see here, they've got troops on the ground versus 26,000 from us. Is that the way it's working? Let's have a bit of a look. Okay, so this is our pirate raiders are on the surface. Attack, defense, there is a way. I thought there was a way to actually look and see what was going on. Oh, here we go. Now this is brand new. This is brand new to the game. So, and I can't zoom in unfortunately with this, but it's a little bit hard to sort of see what's going on. But we've got different attack. So these are our Securan pirate raiders. Attack strength through here for the different raiders that are attacking. They've attacked from space. So we've attacked sort of like from space onto the planet's surface. So we've got Gizuran militia, defense strength 7,051, and so all of ours are sort of fighting that particular group. And then we've got the Gizuran population. Their defense strength is 2,750. So let's just watch what happens when I unpause the game. So we've got 26,000, they've got 10,000. So we're destroying them. Oh, we've encountered a new empire as well, so we'll have to deal with them in the next episode. So we're fighting back, and we're raiding this particular colony. We're doing very, very well. You can sort of see. It's a bit hard to sort of see it, but yeah, their strength is waning. They're down to 38%, down to 6,000. Well, at least we were the first to be able to actually do the raid. All right, let's just pause it there. We've raided the colony Bragul of the Independent. in our successful raid, we have pillaged the following loot. Oh, I didn't see that. So 5,000 credits, 5,700 credits, which is useful. That's basically 2 years worth, I think, of losses. So that's quite useful. So that raid's finished. We now leave the planet, and I believe that particular screen that we were looking at then comes up for when we are, like, if we had troops. That would be the other thing. Only difference would be if we actually took over that planet, we would then actually have full control of the planet, which of course we can't do. We are at 48%, so we're almost ready to be able to build and actually establish a more permanent facility on the surface. But we're going to call this episode to a close. So join us next time. Thanks for watching, and yeah, it's interesting. I like the feel of this.